up, YouTube? It's Monday, March 24th. Wow, is it March 24th already? It sure is. 2014, this is Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. It's echoing like hell in here, and I'm your Monday vlogger, B. This week's topic is, this is a deep one, guys. We're gonna dig in a little deep today because, well, I just went through an experience that kind of plays into this a little bit. We're talking about hope. I'm going to read the topic, and then we'll talk about it as it pertains to me personally, and I'll share a little bit about what happened with me this weekend. So anyway, the topic is hope. Where do you get yours? How has it changed from when you were pre-op to a first year post-op to where you are today? Why do you not let go of hope? So, you know, we have to kind of put a title on hope, maybe a definition, because a lot of times I think that people confuse hope and faith, and one kind of plays into the other, you know, faith and hope. But, you know, we really focus on the actual desire for something to take place when we talk about hope. Like, you know, I hope I win the lottery, right? I hope that all of you guys get something out of these videos that we do every week. You know, there's a very specific qualifier. There's a desire involved when you use the word hope, and that's kind of the thing that makes this week's topic really open-ended, because, you know, for me as a pre-op patient, I didn't have a lot of hope for anything. You know, I was before I was pre-op, before I started my weight loss journey, it was very large. I was very depressed, and I just wanted my life to be done. That was what I hoped for, to be finished. And you know, that very quickly changed for me because of my perspective on life. You know, I saw options, and because of those options, my hope for my life to end quickly changed to my hope for a new life. And I found that hope, those desires, through my knowledge of what was out there. And as time progressed, as my education and experience grew, my hope became much more burning. Those desires became much larger, much greater, because I knew why I was overweight. I knew what I had to do to make a change, and I knew where I wanted to be. So I went from having no sense of direction, no education, no knowledge of what was available to me except for where I was, to having an entire array of options and a destination. And I think that was what got me started. It's kind of like being lost in the sea. You look around and all you see is ocean. You look up, you see sky. You look down, you see water, and there's nothing all the way around. And you don't know where you are, and you don't know where you're going. And that was the feeling that I had. And you don't have hope for anything except to not be there anymore, you know? And that was where I was. But once somebody hands you a map and shows you where you are, and you see options just, you know, from where you can go, now all of a sudden you can start to make decisions. And that's where I was. I was at a point where I knew where I was, I knew where I needed to go, and I knew how to get there. And then hope appeared for me. Post-op, it was a little different because I was on that journey. You know, I had lost 150 pounds before. I had gained 140 back. You know, and I decided that path wasn't the best for me. I was going to choose another path. And hope then became a little more specific. Hope then became, well, I hope this is the right path this time, because I don't know if I can do this again at 34 years old, you know. because I knew all the hard work that I had put in and all the hell that I had put my body through the first time around. And I didn't want to do that again. I hoped that my body could take the beating, you know. I hoped that the path was right for me. I hoped that I picked the right surgery. You know, that was the type of hope that I had, you know, as very near pre-op and post-op patient. But as my journey continued, as I saw the results, as I saw the progress, as I got to be 1, 2, 3 years out, and now here in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be 4 years out. I know that it was the right path. I'm still on that journey. I still see the end of the road, and I still know that I'm on the right route. I still know that I'm on the right path, and I know I'm doing the right things. But that hope is different for me now, because I no longer hope that I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm doing the right thing. I no longer hope that I had the right surgery, because I know I had the right surgery. I no longer hope that I didn't make a mistake having surgery, because I know for a fact that I did. And now I think a lot of my hope has been replaced with, what's a good word to use? Confidence. With just the simple fact of accepting that this is where it is, that there are no other options, and I don't have those desires anymore, because I know them to be true. You know, I think now, and starting to get into why I was talking earlier about what happened to me this weekend. I think now my hope is starting to drift into other directions. You know, I see a lot. I don't do as much YouTube watching as I used to, or Facebooking, because I spend a lot of time away from the computer now. But about two and a half, somewhere between 2.5 and 3 years post-op, I started to notice other people, you know, and I noticed the choices that they made and the decisions that they made, and I started to question, not just to myself but to them personally, why? You know, why did you make this choice? And I think now I've become much more aware of the things that other people do. And not to be judgmental, because I'm not. I don't judge anybody. But more, I see where I was. And I was in that spot where I was in the middle of the ocean, and I didn't know where I was, and I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't know how to get there. And I didn't have any hope, because I didn't have any options. And I see those people, and I ask myself, I wonder if they have hope. I wonder if they have options. Because I'm not to pat myself on the back, but I'm a fairly intelligent individual. You know, I have 2 degrees. I went to master's school. I had a very, very distinguished career in electronics. And I seem to be doing things fairly well here, you know, weight loss surgery. And I think that I consider myself a fairly intelligent individual. I have been, you know, most of my life. And I didn't have the knowledge. Me. You know, one of the smartest guys I know. Yeah, I am too, my own horn. One of the smartest guys I know. And I didn't know. So I see these people, and I'm like, I wonder if they know. And that's that. I found myself asking that question a lot lately. I have a cousin who is